The best stocks to invest in right now. There are literally thousands of publicly traded companies you can invest in, not to mention the many exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and mutual funds you can buy. So it's not surprising many investors don't know where to begin. And, with the recent market downturn, especially when it comes to growth stocks, there are plenty of stocks trading for significantly less than they were just 6 months or a year ago. But what are the best stocks to buy in 2023? Although I don't have a crystal ball that tells me what stocks will deliver the best returns, I've tried to do the next best thing. In this article, I'll discuss 10 stocks that I think could be great buys in 2023 for long-term investors looking to put their money to work. Now that you've seen my top 10 best stocks to buy now, you may be wondering why I picked each company. Here's a quick rundown of why I'm such a fan of each of them as long-term stocks to invest in. 1. Etsy. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Etsy was growing nicely by connecting crafty makers with customers looking for something a bit more out of the ordinary than mainstream e-commerce fare. During the pandemic, e-commerce got a huge boost. But Etsy absolutely skyrocketed, growing at more than twice the rate of overall e-commerce. It certainly helped that Etsy was a natural fit when people wanted unique face masks, but its growth has been impressive across all product categories. In the second quarter of 2022, Etsy's marketplace sales volume was up 141% over comparable pre-pandemic levels. 2. Pinterest. Pinterest is an oasis of positivity in a social media landscape that's grown increasingly depressing and divisive. That partially flows from what Pinterest is about, which is ideas. People go to Pinterest to focus on things, not on other people. Whether it's building a dream deck, baking a kid's birthday cake, or updating your wardrobe, Pinterest gives people visual inspiration for the things they want to get done. Pinterest has been beaten down in the 2022 market decline, mainly because its user base contracted a bit as pandemic restrictions were lifted around the world. However, according to the company's most recent results, it appears that the user base has stabilized for the time being. Plus, Pinterest has just a small fraction of the user base of Facebook, so there's still lots of long-term user growth potential. 3. Block. Block, formerly known as Square, has evolved from a niche payment processing hardware company to a massive financial ecosystem for merchants and individuals. On the merchant side, Block processed about $188 billion in payment volume over the past 4 quarters, and it also offers a suite of adjacent services for businesses. On the individual side, Block has the Cash App, with 47 million users, as well as capabilities that include person-to-person money transfers, direct deposits and debit cards. The ability to buy and sell stocks in Bitcoin, crypto, BTC, and much more. Block also recently acquired music app Tidal, plus the Afterpay Buy Now, Pay Later platform. As its ecosystem evolves, the business should only get stronger. The long-term trend towards cashless payment adoption still has a long way to go, and with many potential growth verticals it could pursue, Block earns a spot on my top 10 best stocks to buy now. 4. Shopify. Shopify operates a platform designed to allow businesses of all sizes to sell their products online, with a particular focus on empowering smaller businesses. Shopify offers a subscription plan starting at $29 per month for businesses, and it also offers many adjacent services that help businesses operate smoothly, such as payment processing solutions and logistics. Shopify's one-stop-shop approach to enabling e-commerce has turned it into a powerhouse. It now has more e-commerce sales flowing through its ecosystem than any other company besides Amazon. However, Shopify could be just getting started. The platform has generated just over $5 billion in revenue over the past 4 quarters, but this is just a fraction of its estimated $153 billion market opportunity as more retailers shift their focus to online sales. 5. Realty Income. There's a solid case to be made that when it comes to value, growth, and income, it's tough to find a more well-rounded stock for long-term investors than Realty Income. If you aren't familiar, Realty Income is a real estate investment trust, or REIT, and primarily invests in freestanding, single-tenant retail properties. Walgreens, Nasdaq, WBA, Dollar General, NYSE, DG, and FedEx, NYSE, FDX, are just a few examples of the top tenants. Realty Income owns more than 11,000 properties in the US and Europe, most of which are rather recession-resistant and less vulnerable to e-commerce disruption than many other retail businesses. Plus, Realty Income's triple net lease structure helps create a steady, predictable income stream. 6. MercadoLibre. One of my favorite long-term stock investments in the market, MercadoLibre is often referred to as the Amazon of Latin America, and for good reason. The company operates an e-commerce marketplace that has a dominant presence in some of the most populous nations in the region, including Brazil and Argentina. It operates a fast-growing payments platform called Mercado Pago, a logistics service known as Mercado Envios, a business lending platform, and more. The marketplace saw $8.6 billion in merchandise volume in the second quarter of 2022, and Mercado Pago processed more than $120 billion in annualized volume. With about two-thirds coming from outside the company's e-commerce platform. Both are growing rapidly. And don't overlook Mercado Crédito, the company's young but fast-growing lending business. Mercado Crédito has more than tripled in size over the past year alone, and has $2.7 billion of outstanding loan balances. 7. Intuitive Surgical. Robot-assisted surgery beats the shaky hands of humans. That general thesis hasn't changed much from when I first noticed Intuitive Surgical stock in 2005. The Da Vinci surgical system is the clear market leader, and the razors and blades model helps it generate a recurring stream of revenue as its systems are used to perform procedures. Intuitive Surgical is dominant in its space, and it has lots of room to grow as its surgical systems increase in adoption and the number of its supported procedures increases over time. This is particularly true in many international markets, where the implementation of robot-assisted surgery could be a long-tailed growth catalyst for this excellent business for decades to come. 8. Disney. The House of Mouse is the all-weather tires of a portfolio. The pandemic hurt its theme park and movie businesses but helped the Disney Plus streaming service, which has grown into a powerhouse years earlier than Disney expected. In fact, Disney Plus now has over 150 million subscribers less than 3 years after launching, while the company's initial 5-year goal called for 60 to 90 million. In 2022, demand for Disney's theme parks and movies is coming back stronger than ever. 9. Berkshire Hathaway. While most of this list is made up of growth stocks, this is the relatively boring value pick of the bunch. Berkshire Hathaway owns a collection of about 60 subsidiary businesses, including household names such as Geico, Duracell, and Dairy Queen, just to name a few. Berkshire also owns a portfolio of common stocks worth more than $340 billion that includes massive stakes in Apple, Nasdaq, AAPL, Bank of America, NYSE, BAC, Chevron, NYSE, CVX, American Express, NYSE, AXP, and Coca-Cola, NYSE, Co., as well as positions in dozens of other companies. The Buffett Bears will say he has lost his fastball, but Berkshire continues to produce market-beating returns in most years despite its massive size. 10. Amazon. Amazon doesn't really need much an elevator pitch for most people. The company has a dominant lead in the U.S. e-commerce market with about $600 billion in gross merchandise sales last year, and its Amazon Web Services cloud platform is also a market leader. We're a long way from maximizing e-commerce adoption. It still accounts for less than 15% of all U.S. retail sales. Amazon also has a ton of potential in other areas such as healthcare, grocery stores, neighborhood markets, and more. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.